There's no man that face was in my yeah. Why just
I'll tell you. Yeah, I've talked to these kids. And I'm going around a couple of folks. I'm not impressed. I said, we're taking maybe a while. So you glad they took well, it was kind of how many can you have? Okay, yeah, I do. The numbers. And sure. I don't know. Yeah. I want the two of them. Yeah. I may have to fall back on the insurance then I want to do it. If I don't have to, I'd like to keep them with us if you come back. Yep. Yeah, it's not honest. So it's still like so lost. I set up this.
did that place that there's a Jack Henry down there. So, the senator. It's out floating a South Macklemore, 3540 by social road or social road. So
I don't know what.
Well, it's new here and then guys independent living or like any other like family customers. But this is yes, the biggest and you should have net them small educates here and now. And that's not they're not they keep it already used to that number someone's saying something's like very good in that and I do
I've gone to enough meetings on this stuff. That what really helps them is stimulation.
Yeah.
When they get out, people as much as you possibly can, personalization.
Yeah.
But putting them in a way, there's other people who that that's serious. You can't really think about it. That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, well, you may be right. That may be the fallback. Oh, there he is.
Did you like that chair house?
Yeah.
You go over there at least. She likes over there at least once a week. Oh, lunch hard. Never heard of it, Al. Oh, you mean that? Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Well, when you use the word lunch card, I've got one. Yeah. In fact, I got more than one, I think. That's me, huh? You want to know? Oh, well, that's kind of you. Thank you. No, I've got one. And we try to get over there. What's late? Class. She's what? Maneuver for a seat. That gets a little edgy. But she said, well, I like to sit over there. I said, well, honey, somebody sit. She says, you've got dementia. Then she'll forget it. I'm not going to something else. Thanks for offering me to come. That's getting it.
We've seen that in this week.
Yeah, she's 83, I'm 86. Yeah, she's since 2018.
Staff, there isn't a stress. So they can't remember.
Probably after 2 minutes out. Talk to
And
competition, repetition. I'll see how hard it is to bring her out of social access to web. Yeah, I think so. She might ask me the same damn question for it. Likes to go to parties. I can trip out the things. Price. Okay.
So it's everyone that you use.
Yep.
You are all the football process. You can tell. I don't like it. It's so.
My gosh,
What is that?
yeah, but
I mean, hours, yeah, it's snow. Inside that place now, tight. So you know, separation unions. First chair, behind the
yeah,
different challenge. You're not too high and scared, you know.
They don't have any equipment at all. I freeze to death unless you got a heater in your place, plus you got the chillers, but it is.
keep some problems. Consider the problems.
Yeah,
I'm sure you never too much.
Stop, stop.
yeah. You should be, that's.
So we not want to be down there with snow. It's talking about being put on that week. No.
Yeah. They have, see how it comes through, what you should work.
Yeah,
And how you know we want them to make cancer right like this, you'll be able to. It's completely all white, but all we were waiting to do. We did a few further over. But yeah, we're going to see that, having a bleeds. Stay there. We're not going to get us. They can play no doubts.
They're already not worthless.
So this is nice to know. I was in the.
I mentioned it.
Yeah, it's definitely around. His son, good job. Brings right now, so. So we. Coming out of being a joke. So they said, mercy, devotion, say you never, you know, this one, I wonder, one of your never seen. Don't look at them and say, hey, would anybody like to? Because we're all gonna have to like them. Right. They said for your book, thank you. And how them. The nice one, yes, yeah, I just need to do it.
Ask me, like that, I will bring it too. It's one of my after too.
The lady is the plus president, this year, she's also.
Yeah.
So,
All she could
Mike, your turn. Oh, yeah, sir. He's, yeah.
Vote out that way. Time we got the money got our share. It's China. One.
Sheriff. And so he.
That was, we had this. But anyways, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were, you did this one, you did that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what if we came to your house? This is the same.
We had to go out.
Same.
Yeah.
And they were like.
Very old people.
Like straight, well.
Get them all.
Yeah.
Texas Rose.
Now you were not just walking straight.
Have like.
Also,
Even later.
Always, built.
yeah, it's a
True. Park and so every one back.
Yeah.
Schedule life didn't. I was on there. Seems like it's like.
And I don't know, this girl saying, but you're afraid of that, it's. So it's not like, what's that, yeah, people are not. So number three, this is, the year is not being done correctly. It's actually, so counter is not the longest time. You see what I'm saying? And when I think it's, you know, I'm like, put you that thing, take it well. Sit down.
We decided.
How long would you change your chairs? Go, chair, will you? So that's so bad, especially how it works for that change. It's the same. The only difference is.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. So,
I know.
so. Yeah.
I may face it, and as I said, I
Some.
think we talked about it.
They don't give up. Some.
She likes being around, paying nothing on that.
Oh, yeah.
We like that a lot better. I just don't know. Oh, I struggle. Yeah. Makes a difference. I understand it.
Yeah. California. With your price. So.
Yeah.
Keep pricing here.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Anybody sees this, sleeping great rooms. That's up to you. That's perfect. Because that's correct. That's right. Now see here. Where get you put together like now you can have a case. Very nice. Have the student. It changes the dynamic. You're good overall. Been doing good. Curiosity. Come to the term. Sir, how are you?
That's how are you? Adam Worthing. Nice to meet you. No, no problem. There you go. We'll work in the ass on a day like this.
There are people that sit
If I want too much gas.
too much.
All I thought I needed was golden eyes. Spruce Creek gas.
It was better too much, not enough. Don't get there. Screen for your generator.
No. Really live out. It's not out maybe very much. Deliverance, I don't know. But my words, I have been to help out. So it's been trying to get the pipeline for me. So it's what it is.
It's a word. Very good. Very good.
What? Yeah. That's like that's not to do. So it's that. I mean, that's where I got a good. Yeah, ready to do. Pretty good. Yes. I know, guy. That's happening in Springfield. Yeah. You're like, it just celebrate. Well, this is their time to store the costs. Democratic plus you. See the
See the fruits in spring.
like that, like yours. They can stop. The more the merrier. But I think that Tom Holman was the right guy. He was walking, just can't be in the best. The president, the bad guys out, don't let us. And see what the hell lots of your games. That ought to be a game. Been interesting to see. Yeah. It does smell like kids not a bunch that seem to make up. And so every kind of be a little bit of a show. As you know, you gotta begin to build a or about so you gotta begin to build out these series. Really, all the rest of the rest, there's a trip down. And the bonfire. She was the last minute. They should be. Our party teams and the bonus. You have a friend, Joe, and Alex. You done dog lighting? He's a been really ready to hear them. But they've been after that. I had to give you flags and 30% actually. Yeah.
Glad you have to.
Yeah.
You love it. Okay. You know, yes. You get out of it, what you put in. There are individuals that it's on Monday and pay their dues and that's it.
You also have a pretty good.
Because everybody's gonna be in New England again, you think, next weekend?
Show the.
I wouldn't bet on that.
Really? $20. Good.
Oh, it should be a good game.
Yes.
Because that's our job.
Good. So, right.
Since it's 7:00,
Yeah.
we can. It's fascinating.
Okay.
I'm still here with the students when we launch. You will exchange it for
Down here.
as an overflow.
When we.
Yeah. That's staying with us. And
Sure. It was, that was the time that she said, it's the problem. That is, there's a blank, so here, spinning image of Brian. Yeah, it's all. Yeah,
that's it.
it was, yeah, so like.
Yeah, that's true.
You go. We, we were over, together, my techniques, all we were doing. Either.
Yeah, I agree with history.
Well, okay, so they couldn't say this much. Something there we get out, they don't already out.
Yeah.
Wait, I was curious if I got a cat working today. And then nothing here. I don't understand this. Okay, well, there's gonna be a wide stream of running there. Yeah.
That
It's here. You're not here.
Second person?
Yeah. And I think I sort of. Hey, can I be pushes, of course, they said, well, just I said, okay, yeah, for the campus meeting, it was right down the curve. That'd be wider, so there'd be sunlight and
Okay.
we didn't have too many people at the hearing. Well. And well. And. Yeah. Let's go to.
Think about it. Well, I it never strikes anything, and I'm right now section, a lot of things that don't get where for this, these back.
That's true.
But here, this is, yeah, we just a turning lane there, and so it's charged.
Yeah, I can get back up.
So there's directions and there's forward. Pull the time down, but it's doing.
You know what's all done. Yeah, 5 lanes all, but you can't go. So. Maybe.
It's been together already. No. Right, third was the. Parents is better than the other. Hey, but your parents were the first year out any. From each other, side effects, so they can take the issues. Who do they go to work with? Press on.
But the.
You're underrated.
And time even. Certain. It's all me.
Then do that
Really, but.
Don't you know?
Color last year, I was there. Like the mayor.
Where's my guns? How are you? Are you sure? Go ahead. I like that. Go ahead. Spice. Like that was serious. I can't like it's working. Continue. Yeah, my engineer, I'll get that through. She's on that. They're having here now. I checked it and realized it wasn't there. Don't know about. In response. Oh, it's now looking at well, that. All here. Yeah. It ain't it's one word. It's converted. Now it's the test. It's all around.
That. Oh, you want that?
So yeah, set up. Sorry. So yeah. So I heard it's get on here. Yes.
Now, a second.
Guy talking. So what if there wasn't any pharmacy?
My workout.
I guess it was good.
Yeah. So I'm fucking and that unemployed, that help them. Here's all. That's. What was I saying? Okay. She's saying. Anyway.
Good afternoon, Beavercreek. How we all done today?
Real good.
You what?
My presentation I have.
Oh. Okay.
We just won our colleagues. Because from a currency,
$100 billion. And we don't have any dinner today due to invitation. So. Don't bow your heads, please. Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for getting everybody here this morning safely. And hopefully the same way getting home, enjoying this nice cold weather. And I ask you to guide us in our deliberation today. And I ask it in your name. And we said, amen.
Amen.
Oh, there it goes. Hey, Jeff.
So. Quick report. We are currently 55% today. Not too shabby. We've got a couple guests. Joe, would you like to introduce your guest?
Yes, Adam Worthman, he's from the Beavercreek Rotary.
And then Pete's not even here yet, but guest of Pete Landrum is Monica Jones. Everybody somewhere. Oh, she's getting. Sorry. And then Brian's guest. Oh, I forgot your first name. It's Ian Callie.
Ian Callie, looking to join our club from the Chillicothe Rotarian now, moving back to the area.
Oh, welcome.
And my lovely bride, Karen.
Well, welcome to all. And the Sergeant at Arms report. Will not be done today because we have no Sergeant at Arms. Well, I'll tell them we got a slap anyhow. Happy bucks. We have any happy bucks. Oh, good.
I'd like to give a happy buck because we are almost ready to open registration for Cheers on Beavercreek.
Very.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Any other happy bucks?
I got a mechanical happy buck. My truck was in the shop a couple weeks ago, spent $1,000 getting the steering fixed. A week later, I was driving down the highway and it was shaking something awful. And I thought, oh man, this is going to be another $1,000. So I called the place and they said, you probably have ice in the wheels. It throws the balance of the rims, it throws the balance off. He said, put it in the garage, get the heat on. I did. An hour later, it was driving great. I was thrilled.
That's an interesting thing. Hey,
My happy buck is because Chris, our sergeant, is not here, and I apologize about that, but we had another water main break to go up to a house and help fix, and so my happy buck is that he's not here. He's doing some good work. I also want to thank Adam Horseman because Adam called Chris on Monday, right after the big snow, and one of his customer signs now had a big flood. So we were able to get out there right away and get them hooked up with some dry out cleanup. So thank you. Thank you.
well, we need to get these breaks maybe on Thursday.
I tried asking if they could not have right election, but we can only do so much.
I have two happy bucks. The first is I don't have Pete's company on speed dial. And the second is that some of you may know that my wife hasn't been very well over the last 3 months.
We saw her neurologist this past week, past Tuesday. She has a diagnosis and a path to getting better.
Oh, I do. That is good. Any other city?
I have two happy bucks that Joe will pay. Thanks, Joe. First of all, I just want to say, coming from me, I'll go ahead and tell Pete there's no excuse missing Rotary meetings, so let's have that thing. And two, NHL for US born broke a record. Patrick Kane with the Red Wings has the most NHL points of any US hockey player. So as you know, Canada, Russia pretty much rule hockey. So pretty amazing that USA is on the map now. And safe travels to what's his name? I can't remember his name. I don't know. Who's a role trust? Township trustee. He's a Rotarian. Alex. Not safe travels to Alex. He's actually in Tampa for the NHL game at it's a stadium series. So
Maybe let's see the snow that's been predicted for that area.
yeah, that's good because
They may predict a quarter inch of snow over Monday County.
That's a growth. Well, we have friends, mine,
they'll have
really,
Ready for the,
oh, yeah, you think?
I got a happy 5 minutes.
oh, okay.
Big shout out to the road crews in the city of Beavercreek and Beavercreek Township for doing a great job.
They have done an outstanding job.
Figure out the deck cards.
The people have to realize they have to get the main streets first, then the secondaries, and like my street, dead last. But it's the way it goes.
we're draw.
Things all actually, I mean, so that's why you're rolling. I'm not close.
Yes, sir.
Cool, yeah, thank you.
If he wants. What's that time? And
Last three numbers are 287.
Right there.
Oh.
What am I drawing for?
What is the bar?
Right.
Diamonds.
take it out.
Yep.
One of those. Yeah, Angel, get out. Who's missing?
Pot grows.
Yeah,
Hot grows.
kind of.
Thank you.
I know y'all know where the money goes. It's for our Christmas basket at the end of the year. The R50% that is there.
You had a better chance. I did.
Greg, you'd ask for a couple minutes to talk about Ronald, did you have to come
Here.
So I took over as RILA chair this year from Shannon. This will be my first year being the chair. I've spent the last 5 months going around to all the clubs that will allow me and talk a little bit about RILA, and I realized I haven't talked to my own club. So I just want to ask a question. There is no wrong answer. If 3 people would share with me, why did you join Rotary? Would anyone like to give their answer?
Networking.
Networking, good answer, and that's a right answer.
Community service,
Community service, that's a right answer.
programs.
Can you explain that, Eric?
The program we have every week,
Okay,
learning about my community, learning about my area, learning about my country, my state.
very good. The reason that we have RILA is for those same reasons. We are building future Rotarians by allowing students of the same age from different locations around our district and from different countries to network, collaborate, serve their community, learn where the need in their community is, build camaraderie, and change the world, just like we want to do. So RILA is an extremely important program if you want to grow tomorrow's Rotarians. And we encourage that from joining the Rotaract. A lot of them come from Rotaract, but it's 3 days of nonstop team building, problem solving, networking, inspiration. And we really think $260 per student is very cheap for the product that you receive on the Sunday when they graduate. When we do service projects, I highly encourage that we invite our Riley graduates from our Beavercreek Club to help us with the service projects so that they can also get the joy of giving back like we do. So registration opens on February 1st and registration closes on February 28th. It's a first come, first served basis. Eric and I have been handling the Beavercreek choices. Our exchange student will be attending, and then we'll be choosing one more to attend from Beavercreek. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm the point of contact if you have any questions, or if you know a student that is a sophomore or junior, preferably junior, that you would like to attend, please let me know. Thank you.
Board also mentioned about a golf outing on May 15th. 26 at 9 a.m. It's gonna be right here. You want to join, there's some pamphlets on the table, or we'll get you one if you don't have one. And please join us, it's a good time. Eric? You said you needed a minute and a half?
What? Yeah, I'm gonna, hopefully I can make this work. And,
It was ready, it's not just. I'm sitting behind. This is the everything you saw, bring your soul, I see them. Hey, while you're doing that, are you ready? While you're getting this all set up, we're gonna be having our Founder's Day meeting. And we wonder if you all have the choice whether we have it here or we have it at another location offsite like we've been usually do. Both ways. So I just want to see hands. How many wants to do the meeting here?
hey, could you clarify that? The meeting's here during a normal meeting versus having it somewhere else in the evening, correct?
Yes. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, clarification. So how it's here.
Where we at?
So in other words, just having a normal lunch, we just got found. Yeah, the question really is, do we want to just have it at our regular meeting on Friday at noon? Or do we want to cancel our Friday noon meeting, have it in the evening at another venue? Which is our only other choice.
Nice. What's your preference? How many did we say wanted to have it here?
So have it here at lunchtime.
It is what you made.
8:12 or something. Lunch? Yes, lunch.
Yeah, if we have it here, it'd be our regular meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. How many opposed to having it here?
Having an evening, right? Having an evening.
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 Evening. Looks like evening west. Okay, I guess evening, we'll do it that way. Sure.
Okay, hopefully the sucker works.
You want that?
Maybe. All right, I want everybody to get out their phone. Get your phone out. This is an opportunity at Rotary to get out your phone. And this one's like going crazy on me because it's not mine. No, it just wants to like call us. Let's head over. Okay, everybody get out your phone. I want you to go to your store. Go to the store. Phone. I don't know if it's Apple or Android. That's what I'm not. Slideshow. What I want you to do is when you get to the store, I want you to put in DACDD. When you get there, I want you to see the application called Ignite. And I want you to download it. It's a free download. And now I'll show you why we're doing that. So Ignite is a free program now. Well, it costs money. DACDB has to get paid for it. But the district paid for every Rotarian, every Rotary Club in our district to have Ignite. And so we have Ignite, and we need to learn why we want it.
Ignite. What's Ignite?
Okay, so when you get to Ignite and you open it up, you'll see this screen to log in. What? Can you see my pointer? I don't know. Okay, so log in. So you'll put in your DACDB username and your DACDB password and log in. When you log in, click Remember Me. And after you log in, when you're starting to log in, you can also use facial ID. The good thing about facial ID is the phone will recognize your face and you won't need to remember your login passwords. So you'll be able to get in. Why do you want to get in? Well, here's the next screen. You put your stuff in, right? Your name, your password. Remember me. Most of you use an email address. I don't like having to type out eric.marcus@mindspring.com. It's too many letters. I just use eMarcus to get in. You can change it yourself. I'll teach you how to do that later. Then you click login. Come on. You click login and you come here to the home page. Yeah. Okay. And there's the home page. And look, find members. You can click on find members. You can find the phone number for any member of our club, or you can find their email address, or you can message them from your phone. It's got a place to put in prospective members. You meet somebody, put their information in there. You'll enter them in prospective members. Josh and Sandy will see it, and they'll be able to do that. You can pay your bill right here. You click on that, and you can pay your Rotary bill by credit card or ACH, your choice. And you can go to the foundation and see how many foundation points you have. So that's what you get when you look for members. And you click on their name, or you can scroll down the list, and then you can contact them. That means you don't have to call me on the phone or send me a text or an email saying, do you have so-and-so's phone number? You've all got it. You all have access to it. That makes my job a lot easier. Thank you. You can pay your bill. So I already paid my bill, so it says zero. If I hadn't paid my bill, it would have said $287. Yes, sir.
So the stuff that we've been doing through DACDB, we just have to download another program to do all that stuff in another program?
You can do it on your phone easily.
So the things I'm doing currently in DACDB is the same things in Ignite. So what's different between one or the other?
Because DACDB doesn't work very well on a phone. And so when you use DACDB on a phone, it doesn't give you the information that you want without a whole lot of effort because it's not phone friendly. Ignite is a phone friendly app developed by DACDB that does all that stuff. So it means not having to carry your laptop around, and when you need to get a phone number, hotspot your phone, hotspot your laptop to your phone, get on the website for DACDB and look the information up. Does that explain it? Okay, and you can get your foundation information, how many points you have, all the other stuff for the foundation. And I think I have one more screen. Nope, that's it. Any questions?
Is it meant to replace DACDB mobile? Is that what that's?
Matt, DACDB mobile isn't replaced, it's gone.
So yes, it is the replacement.
Yes, it's a replacement of DACDB mobile. Yes, DACDB mobile is dead. It used to be an app, then it was just a web page thing, and now it is gone forever. Any more questions? Yes, sir.
I had this loaded from last time you talked
Yes,
about.
and it should still work.
Yeah, it has the rotary and it has DAC DD. So I did the
Put your
rotary,
email in,
just put my email in.
put your email in as your username,
See,
and your DAC, whatever your DAC DB.
password is, which I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll have to
Well, then
get
they
that.
hit reset.
Yes,
Eric, tell them they can hit reset password and do it from, you can do it right from the app.
sorry?
What they can do is, so if obviously people forget their passwords, I'm just guilty. But right underneath it, there's the forget your password. So as long as you have your email, which is tied to your Rotary account, then you hit forget password and then you go to your email and it will give you instructions how to reset your password. And then you can log right into the Ignite. Does that make sense?
Yeah, see here? Forgot password?
Yep.
You can click there, it'll send an email to you, then you can take that email and use it to log into Ignite, Center for Facial ID. We're all old, we forget a lot of things. The phone will not forget our face.
And the thing is, if you don't remember what email it is, because like some of us, I know you have multiple emails, you don't remember what email you set up, what's on your My Rotary. And like, if you type in an email that you think it is, you forget password and it doesn't show up in your inbox, that means it's not the correct email. Try another email.
Or go to your mailbox, your mail app, inbox and see where the weekly notices come
There you
from that sends us out every Wednesday. That's the email to use. I saw a hand over here, Mr. Brown.
Yeah, so as far as paying the bill, I think there's like a then or a link, is that gonna be different now?
Well, it's the same thing.
Okay.
Because you're logged in, when you click pay, it takes you right there. As opposed to having to use the link in the email. You can use either one. Both work. By the way, thank you very much for paying your bills by credit card. While it costs the club a little bit of money, I get paid a lot faster and I do less work. Any more questions? Yes, sir.
I was just gonna say that I love that new method that you have to just click on your bill and pay it by credit card because it's very user friendly.
Yeah, and keep in mind that your club is budgeted about $200 a year to pay for paying by credit card. Because it costs us money, but we absorb it. Any other questions?
I speak Chinese better than this.
Program is yours.
Thank you, Eric.
Oh, hey, one more thing, sorry, just to piggyback off this. When you go back to the homepage, if you scroll like left to right, you'll be able to see like people who are in our club that have birthdays, anniversaries. There's a tab as well in that app.
Very good.
We gotta do elections today too, right?
You have something to do.
Yeah, something to do this afternoon.
Out of trouble.
One more item of business here before we get to our main speaker. We still have to vote on the board of directors for the next Rotary year. Amanda Hayes, Sandy Brubaker, Kenzie Blair, Greta Baton, and Jonas Helper are the candidates. And there's been no other nominations. Could I have a motion to elect by acclamation?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion on that motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. There we go. Mike. Got you busy. That's all right. Thanks, sir.
How you doing, sir?
Oh, not bad, but still.
I'm good. I don't introduce a lot of our speakers. I schedule a few, but I don't do that often because I reserve that for special people like Brian Lambton. Brian is a longtime friend, business associate, former neighbor until I drove him off. And our state rep who has done an outstanding job. And I so appreciate you and the job you do. Come tell us about what's going on.
Well, good day, everyone. I gotta get the cheaters on. So we didn't have a sergeant, so I did bring a couple of few funnies. What do you call, where is it? What do you call an unsuccessful lawyer? Senator.
Why do thieves never target politicians' homes? Professional courtesy. If Chuck Norris was president, he would protect the Secret Service. And my favorite, it's so cold outside. Thank you. It's so cold that politicians have their hands in their own pockets. Yeah. All right. First of all, I want to thank every one of you for your support over these last 3 terms. It's really an honor to serve and work with you guys. I have filed my petitions for my last term. So if it's true, if elected, 27, 28 will be my last General Assembly. So my priorities in no particular order is to protect and help Ohio's single site largest employer, Wright-Patt Air Force Base, including our military and veterans, which also includes the civilian businesses that support the Department of Defense here in Ohio. I'm the House Chair of the Insurance Committee, imagine that. I'm also the House Chair of the Business First Caucus. Now, when you hear that term caucus, that's a House and Senate group, all right, of interested folks, like we have a Veterans Caucus and so forth. The Business First Caucus is headed up by Senator Lang and in the Senate, myself in the House. It has a lot of goals. The main goal, in Ohio, we've been losing population, which when you lose enough population, you lose congressional seats. So over the last many, many years, Ohio has done nothing but lose congressional seats. The goal of the Business First Caucus is to attract so many businesses to Ohio that we actually gain a congressional seat. So our population's increasing, and then hopefully we'll have that. But that's one of the goals. I was recently honored to receive the NFIB Guardian of Small Business Award. And as insurance chair, I basically am looking out for Ohio's 4th largest industry. Some of the things that I've recently done, I sponsored a bill that allows active military to participate in first-time buyers savings rates. So basically, in conjunction with the state treasurer and participating banks, folks who haven't bought a home yet can set up a savings account, and then whatever the bank's going to pay them, through the treasurer's office, they get a 3% bump on that interest to save for that first home. And we passed the bill before I got there, but what we realized was that we did not include active military. So the bill that we passed will now include active military. Last February, in our transportation budget, we changed the requirements on how do you get your driver's license. A lot of hours were added, instructional times, things like that. We were told that we would work with our foreign allies. A lot, folks know around the base, there's a lot of foreign allies that come in, and they're stationed at Wright-Patt 1-2 years at a time, and their families come here too. We were told that they would be okay. They would not have to be included in this new driver's license requirement. Well, we were told wrong. So my friend, Representative Colonel Willis, gets a call from a 4-star general at the base saying, "Hey, dude, we got a problem with this new driver's license requirement, and it needs to be fixed with much haste." So when a 4-star calls you and says that, you go, okay, well, we in Ohio in the legislature don't really do anything with much haste. But we did on this one. So Colonel Willis and I sponsored a solution that included an emergency clause. For those of you that know, you have to have over 60% votes to have an emergency clause. What the emergency clause does basically is once the governor signs it, it becomes law. There's no 90-day waiting period after he signs it. So we did get that enacted, and it was with much haste, I might add.
we passed a comprehensive energy bill that will make Ohio much more competitive, for new business to come here. You know, you hear talk about these data centers. These data centers require a great deal of electricity. And so, as most of you know, there's a capacity, a grid problem, especially during peak times. Well, a lot of the things that this bill does, one of the things it does is it'll allow these either companies or manufacturers to build their own power plants and generate their own power and then sell it off to the grid if they don't use it all, which before that they were unable to do. We also believe this will perhaps, it makes Ohio much more competitive in the Midwest. We also think it'll help the possibility of bringing someone here to invest in building a power plant in Ohio. SB 56, this is the marijuana hemp bill. This thing was very, very highly contested, even within our own caucus. So, you know, the public passed it a couple of years ago. We tried a few times to get something done. We didn't. We got it done this time. So SB 56 regulates the growing, production, distribution, and sales of all the products and labeling and licensing. All right. Some of the things in the bill, this is a big one, there's some of the things in the bill is that no smoking marijuana in public places. There's a limit on how many plants you can have in your residence. There's a expungement of those folks that have prior possession convictions. The definition of hemp and marijuana are now the same. It all has to do with the THC content. So if there's more than 0.4 milligrams or whatever it is, then it's considered intoxicating. Now, and if it is intoxicating, they can only be distributed through the dispensaries. Okay, the licensed dispensaries. In our bill, and even through this thing went to conference committee. It was highly contested between the House and the Senate, the governor. We and the Senate exempted hemp beverages. There was a lot of businesses that basically quit selling alcohol. They just sell these hemp beverages, the intoxicating hemp beverages. And so we exempted them from that because we were trying to protect those businesses that were up and running. Well, first of all, the federal government made some rules that changed a lot of that in the last hour. And the governor, when we sent the bill to him, vetoed that beverage exemption. So basically, that they're no longer exempt. Those products will have to be sold through the dispensaries and all the licensing and things that go along with that. So some of those businesses will be out of business shortly. This was very highly debated. One of the clauses in the original bill that the people put forward, you know, the marijuana, or it wasn't a constitutional amendment, but 4 years ago now almost, was that if you as a city or a township agreed to put a dispensary in your community, you would receive a 36% income from the volume of sales from that dispensary. Well, the way it was worded is the Department of Tax could collect it, but they couldn't distribute it. I know Pete Lander loved that. And so the only way to fix it was a legislative fix. Well, that's in SB 56. The fight was interesting. The House wanted to keep it in, but the Senate and the governor wanted to take it out. It's in. We kept it in. I think Beavercreek got their check on it. Yes, we did. But I just thought that whole fight was interesting. But that's part of the fun. Another bill that came out of my committee, which it was just as much my bill as it was the sponsor Meredith Grace, was having to do with TPIL. TPIL is third-party litigation funding. It's a really nasty process where basically outside investors are investing in the outcome of a court case. So they're betting on who's going to win or lose. And so they're investing with the lawyers who are trying these things for a win. So if you're let's say you're the victim and you get a victory and you win in court, guess who gets their money first? The lawyers. Guess who gets their money the second? Yeah, you're welcome, Dave. The second group now, if there's investors, they get their money second. Now, if there's anything left, the other problem is it's driving up insurance costs for all of us. So we got that out of the insurance committee, 12-0. It passed out of the House. I'm going to do everything I can to get it out of the Senate and signed by the governor before the end of this year. A friend of mine called in March of last year. He's got a health insurance, or at least he thought he did, with a company called Thin Blue Line. They were marketing it as health insurance, and they specifically marketed to first responders. He was a retired Marine dispatcher. So when he retired, he was too young for Medicare, excuse me. So he needed this coverage. So we got it through this Thin Blue Line. He actually had an agent and everything selling it to him. Well, when he called, he said 3 or 4 months ago, they quit. They're not paying my claims. And he'd call and he'd have excuses, and they'd kind of string him along for a while. And he finally called me, and he'd already filed a complaint with the Attorney General's office. So I called my friends at the Department of Insurance. Shortly thereafter, we find out that this company isn't licensed in Ohio. Then we find out they're not licensed anywhere in any state, even Texas, where the company's from. So, and we find out they're not paying claims in a lot of states. So the Department of Insurance with the Attorney General were successful in getting them to cease and desist. And I don't know the legal terms, but they were able to lock up their assets, at least the Ohio assets, and have basically a person from the Department of Insurance have full access to all of their financial records. Now, we're at the point now where we won that case, and we are now gathering claims information from folks who have Thin Blue Line policies, okay? And they have to basically say, here are my documentations of the claims that haven't been paid. There's a pot of money, I don't know the amount yet, that's going to be distributed to those folks. So they're in the process of gathering that information. There's even a thing on the department's website for it. And finally, the fun topic is property tax. We passed several very sweeping property tax measures. I left some things on the table that summarize a lot of the work that we did. I don't want to get through, there's 3 pages of stuff there. $3 billion in property tax relief. So what happened? What's the biggest thing was, when Greene County, our taxes, our property tax, our home values went way up, right? Huge increase when they did the reevaluation, remember? And subsequently, we saw very large property tax increase. Some of us saw 17, 22%. One of the parts of this bill is that now limits that spike to either 3% or the rate of inflation, whichever's lower. So no more of these huge tax spikes. They're gone. They dealt with the 20 mil floor. They changed a lot of the way how levies have to be worded. Transparency, clarity to voters, things like that. Again, look through those things I've handed out to get a lot more of those details. That was also very exciting working with the caucus and the House and the Senate. It didn't go to conference committee, and the governor didn't veto anything in it. So we got that through. In summary, those of you that want to look up stuff, ohiohouse.gov is a terrific resource. You can look up members, you can track bills, you can see committee meeting notices. They have a really nice, the Legislative Service Commission has a nice bill summaries. You don't have to read the actual text of the bill. I always go to the bill summaries to show you what this bill does or what if it's passed in its current form. It'll show you votes taken through the committees and through the House process. You can see how each member votes. So it's a great resource. Once again, thank you all for your support. I went fast and quick so I could, if there was any time left for questions. Eric?
So in the eventuality that this property tax initiative ends up on the ballot, and people vote to do it because when you have a chance to get rid of all your taxes, usually the answer is yes. What the hell are we gonna do?
That is the question of the day. So what he's talking about is there's currently an organized group getting signatures to literally abolish all property tax in the state of Ohio. The bill is extremely simple. I think it's 5 sentences. It's very easy to understand. And he's right. They're looking like they're going to have enough signatures, so it's probably going to be on the ballot in November. And if Ohio passes it, it's a constitutional amendment. So then the $2 question, what the hell are we going to do? So the answer is nobody knows. But to start, what is the state responsible for? The state, by constitution, must fund public schools. So we have to do that, right? How are we going to do it is the $2 question. It's going to have to come from another source, obviously, because this is a multi-billion-dollar issue. Sales tax and income tax is the only other two ways you can think of it. Yeah.
Tax gasoline like $2 a gallon.
Well, that's a sales tax, right?
Yeah.
But what are the cities and the counties and the townships going to do? The state doesn't have to fund them. Beavercreek, as we know from our presentation earlier this month, completely lives on property tax. There is no other source of revenue for them. Bellbrook's the same way. And a lot of other cities, while they may have an income tax, are going to be severely handicapped in that. Townships, I don't know. Counties, same thing. They're a big part of their budget, right, Commissioner? So that'll be an interesting, and the last polling numbers I saw was it's close. 45% will vote for it. All they need is 50.1. Getting that is close.
Representative.
So good question.
A simple percent, even though it's a constitutional amendment, or is there an extraordinary percent needs to pass by?
No, 50.1.
9.000.
Right. Yeah, that much over 50. That's right. Yeah.
Overvote.
Shannon?
So you were talking about legislation earlier about people investing in court cases. And so I mean, in your opinion, do you think that that's just a side effect of all of the ridiculous amount of class action lawsuits? I mean, most of the class action lawsuits, the people who are actually affected never get much, if anything, from it. And so it's just inflating that particular price.
Yeah, I do. I had no idea this was going on. And it's $1 billion industry. And a lot of the money's foreign capital. So one of the things in this bill that passed out of the House is it forbids or bans any foreign investment, which nobody had a problem with that part of it. Nobody had a problem with that. And I understood, I just found out yesterday or day before, that the federal government is looking to make it the T-pill stuff all transparent, which would be awesome, because that'll be countrywide. But I do, Shannon, I really do, because if you think about, a law firm has limited resources, but now all of a sudden you're getting just large amounts of capital to try a case. Yeah.
On the property tax thing, is it literally all property taxes or is it just limited to residential?
All property tax. Like I said, it's like 5 sentences. It would abolish all. So commercial business, any property that has a tax, gone. Yeah, Steve?
You mentioned something I didn't even know. So you said the population of Ohio is shrinking. What do you think is causing that?
Well, Florida, Texas. One thing Ohio, I say one. No, yeah, one of the things that we have done, the big thing we recently passed, the last budget we did, is we set an income tax flat. That's huge for making Ohio more competitive, at least regionally. Again, the whole point of attracting the businesses here is now the workers are going to have to come here. They don't have to, but they're going to live here. I think over the years, it's been tax policy, and weather.
And then, as far as, so you said your main position is to protect right pat and obviously Ohio's biggest employer. Do you see, and if you do see it, what committees are you on or possibly working on if a sequestration were to come back, to right pat?
Well, I do sit on the Veterans Committee, and that would be a federal order that we wouldn't have any control over other than to pass a resolution that we don't like it.
Yeah.
All that stuff's federal. But we do everything we can in Ohio to make Ohio DOD friendly, veteran friendly, because we want more missions to come to right path.
Because I remember they put a committee together, I believe, in 2012 or 13, where that committee's job was to try to figure out, okay, we're going to lose jobs, so where we probably sacrifice it, as opposed to then just coming, the federal government and cutting it.
Well, and you're right, and that was, I forget what it's called. You're talking about, BRAC. We don't have a organized structural BRAC committee, but honestly, working with the local county folks, the federal folks, we are always working on this stuff. And the big thing, our biggest help is the DDC. All right, they're the regional business development, and their biggest focus, right, is right back and all the businesses around it. So we sort of already have a built-in organized BRAC process and situation now. One of the big things that the Department of Defense wants is SCIF space, which is that secure stuff for research and development. The two problems: one is it's very expensive. If say the Air Force wants to build SCIF space, it takes them about 10 years from start to bid to getting it done, where a developer can do it in 1 year. Synergy does it, and they're probably the best state. The hang up is getting it approved. They'll have it built and it'll sit empty for 1.5 years, waiting for the guy to come out and say, yes, this is SCIF space. And there's nothing we can do about it. I've asked, I've begged, I was like, we got to speed this process up. It's taking too long. But there's only so many folks that are licensed to approve a SCIF space, and they can't use it until it's been approved. Anybody else, Dave?
Yeah, so theoretically, in the future, if that passes, when you call for police or fire, you're gonna have to give them your credit card number.
Well, there won't, but the problem is they'll be have fire stations with fire trucks with no gas in them and no people to drive over to your house. You'll have to get your hose out and hope you take care of it. I mean, think about it. Or the communities would have to band together, right? And self-tax and have their own little fire department. Yep.
Would you like a drive?
A cookie drive. Yeah. Yeah, it's obviously it's the potential's frightening, actually. That's going to be, if it gets on the ballot, that's going to be a really interesting campaign. If you think about politically, just think about, Charles, you think about who's interested in failing this initiative.
Yeah.
Teachers, schools, cities, fire, police. think about all the folks that don't normally come together in a campaign, right, Ryan? That will be coming together for this one. Right? And it'd be interesting. If it doesn't get on the ballot, I don't have to worry about it. Yeah,
Question, but it's not about the property tax, but are you involved at all in the Wilmington Amazon project?
no,
I've
No.
been reading a lot about it, there's a lot of, concern about the money Amazon has gotten, they're buying land and little,
yeah, it's hard to say. It's interesting when you talk to folks about these data centers. A lot of, I don't say areas, geographical subdivisions don't want it. A lot of them do. So everybody's gonna have different opinions on those. Eric?
Has anybody done any work on the economic impact of the, what you call it, the intoxicating hemp bans, and then how much it's gonna cost for, first of all, the businesses that were just selling products like corner stores, and then
Yeah.
the effect of the drinks themselves, where
Right.
there's whole companies that are canning that stuff with salespeople and sales reps and things like that. What's
Yeah.
the economic impact in the state of Ohio?
I know a lot of reps did not like that veto because they have in their districts a lot of those hemp drink businesses that are going to be out of business. I think mid-year.
When does it go like that?
I don't know for sure, but I think it's June, July timeframe. Yeah, your convenience stores that sell this stuff, that's a product line. They'll be all right. They'll live. But some of these are standalone hemp drink only places.
And some are canneries, right? They make the product, they can it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
They can it,
yeah.
and have sales reps who go out and sell it.
Yeah, a lot of those other places are national, so they'll have to leave Ohio. Or do what you can through the dispensary. You'd still do it through the dispensary. But that's going to be the only thing is through the dispensary. Or knock the THC content to below intoxicating, which probably won't be any fun for them, but right? I mean, it is what it is. Anybody else? Any other questions? Cool. Thank you, everybody.
thank you very much. We appreciate all the information.
Yep. Bet. So I love this. Can you see the name of the book? My grandma and grandpa rock. And the author is Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo. So as usual, Beth outdid herself.
Yes, she's good.
Yeah, she's very good.
Find a good one.
That's awesome. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A lot of information. Well, as usual, a lot of good information, Brian. Is there any other business to be brought up today?
Well, for training or little shopkeeping tutorials, we have a subject for next week that we are interested in Eric telling us about,
Or someone else.
or Eric telling us about.
Or someone else.
How to transfer your points on Ignite to someone else and how that process works. Like people have excess money on their supposedly. Because you can't carry it over. I don't know, there's a process to that Eric can talk about at ROI and I didn't get all the results. It was
Excess money. I don't understand that.
foundation.
So when you donate money, for every dollar, you get so many.
How to
points.
give a.
Eric, how many points do you have, Eric?
7,000.
Yeah.
And he gave me some of his, like you could care less like candy,
And so,
he had too many.
so he can give half of his points or a portion of his points to give someone a Paul Harris. And so you can pay half of the dollar value and get half of the points, and then you can get a Paul Harris for, does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, what, you heard?
Just a comment, so hand up over there.
Don,
Thoughts are done?
I know you already said something about the golf outing, but I want to say some more. This is a fundraiser. This is where, how we give our money away. This is what we are able to donate thanks to. So I need your help. I need sponsors. I need golfers. I need donations. So if you've got a owning company and you want to sponsor a hole and go beyond that, please do so. It's all on here. Brian covered most of those up, but they're on your table. Please take advantage of that. It is May 15th, and we're also gonna need volunteers for that weekend, for that Friday. So, all right. If you have any questions, let me know. I know we really need some help on this.
All right.
And register easily on that fund is like foundation, correct?
Yes, it does.
Correct, and that's 100% of the foundation's budget for the year, right? Does anybody, Eric, do you know what the foundation's yearly budget typically is? Come on, Eric.
About almost 20,000.
So we have to raise $20,000 at the golf outing. That's perspective.
We made 10,000 last year, I believe. That was very good for us.
Otherwise, we don't give out scholarships and everything else.
And the money's made, the sponsors and the whole sponsors and the sponsors. That's where the money's at.
So if you want to be a whole sponsor, just speak up.
It's all on there. QR codes there, you can do it online.
Oh, okay, cool. Anything else? You all right with the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which is stands nation for God, indivisible, liberty, justice for all. Everyone, I say I can. Hopefully, I should put the light. So they guess. Okay, we need to know what you from. Oh.
Everything together.
Bye.